Welcome back to the Coach Lead Distinct podcast. It's your boy Black Adam. I'm glad you guys tuned into the show. As you can see, my get up. I have my hat on with my cowhide vest. I got my boots on. Do it with your boots on. I'm guessing you wondering why I have this on. Yes, it is the rodeo here in Houston. I am in Houston, Texas. For those who watch abroad, I'm in Houston, and this month in Texas we have what we call the Houston Livestock Rodeo. So it lasts the entire month. We have country singers. We have different activities, events for like the kids, for wranglers, for rodeo guys, everything. And we also have artists that come through. Like this, when this comes out, this will be, let's see, the following. So I believe, I want to say Tim McGraw. I think Tim McGraw will be coming up today. So when this comes out, Tim McGraw will be airing today. So I think that's a show I'm going to. But anyway, every day my purpose was to wear a hat. I have a couple of them since I've been in Texas. Yes, I'm still a Louisianian. Okay, I'm still from New Orleans. Don't get it twisted. But I gotta wear my costume for this month. So anyway, man. But shout out to everybody that came down for the rodeo, or who is coming down for the rodeo. Much love to you guys. Shout out to my sponsor, 605 Adult Beverages. Shout out to Call Audio, and shout out to MedPro Supply. Thank you guys for sponsoring the show. We need more sponsors as we keep going, because I've been getting a lot of calls lately, and having these calls, I got to travel, and with travel comes expenses. Expenses come alcoholic beverages. Alcoholic beverages come other things that I can't say on camera, but you got to pay for it. Anyway, guys, but we keeping it, what is that? PG? PG. We keeping it PG. So, guys, I thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate everything that you guys been doing, how you guys communicate with me and everything. So I appreciate it. So, guys, as you know, one, I'm a proud Southern graduate. That's first and foremost. I got to get that out the way. Well, no, I'm a God follower. That's one. Two, I'm a Southern graduate. Three, I'm a Louisianian. Did I say that right? Louisianian?
Louisianian.
Yeah, that right there. I'm a Louisianian, and by having those different ingredients, I always meet people in the process. And today on the show, we have someone that has similar ingredients. She's a God-fearing woman.
Number one.
Number one, she's a Southern graduate.
Number two.
And she's a Louisianian.
Number three.
Right? And we love all of it. And, of course, we cook gumbo and eat cracklings, boudin, and all that other things.
Oh, yeah.
We do all that. So, but look, I want you guys to give me, I had a preacher say in church, I want you guys to give me your undivided attention.
Oh, man.
Undivided attention, because this is going to be a great show. We got DT Frank on the building. What's up, DT? What's going on, baby?
Hi. I am happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Hey, DT. Look, DT looking so good today. I'm telling you, look, brothers, stay out of her DMs. We not doing that right now, okay? We talking business, right? Afterwards, you see her in the street, and y'all can, do whatever. Anyway, DT, what's going on? How you been?
I've been good. Yes.
So last time I saw you was on a show, I think it was Homecoming of last year.
Homecoming.
Of 25.
No, 24.
It was
It's
24?
been that long, yes.
Wow. Damn. Time going by fast, right?
I know. Time.
Wow.
Definitely fast.
Jeez. So are you going to the rodeo?
I am going to the rodeo. I'm a little upset because if I would have known that you were going to be dressed up, I would have dressed up accordingly, because I actually have the outfit that I'm going to change into, because I'm going to the rodeo after this.
Shout out to the rodeo. Okay. It's okay. You know what? I like this look because it shows that you have variations. You could be a cowgirl. You could be a businesswoman. You could be fly and classy. And you could be a dancer and a golfer.
Golfer?
Athlete, everything.
FRCs, hard hat?
And here's what you want to show. We want to show talking about.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So DT, let me ask you this. For the people who don't know, where are you from?
I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Southwest Louisiana, 337.
That's right. 337, Calcasieu Parish.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Calcasieu Parish. That's it.
Right outside of Orange, Texas. So if you guys are from Texas, you got Beaumont, you got Orange, you go into Vinton, and Vinton goes to Lake Charles.
Correct.
You're right down the street, so it's
Correct.
not far from here. Lake Charles is known for what's Lake Charles known for?
Casinos, food, And beautiful women.
Oh yeah, you right about that. Now you all right about that. You all right about that? Yeah, you're right. So, being from Lake Charles, how long have you been here in Houston?
Ooh, I've been in Houston since 2015. I did a little stint on and off for a company that I was working
Okay,
for about 2 years, but since 2015, so
okay,
11 years now.
11 years. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So, let me ask you this: by being from Louisiana and having experience in Houston, what would you say the difference would be, like at this present moment right now?
I love Houston. I do. I love Louisiana. I
Hmm.
love the culture of Louisiana.
Yeah,
Um,
I do too.
but I love Houston. I would retire back in Louisiana, but
Hmm.
living my life currently is here.
I was saying that the other day to a friend. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start looking for property in Louisiana
Hmm.
because I said Houston is the place where you can do so much in terms of events, in terms of eating, in terms of camaraderie, things for the
Yes,
kids,
yes,
attractions,
yes.
dating. We're gonna get into that later. Uh, you could do so many things here in Houston, and then once all that is said and done, you can go back home and just go up in the sunset.
Retire. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Go off in the sunset.
yeah,
Ride off in the sunset in
100%,
Louisiana.
100%.
Property, nice little pond,
Yep,
4 wheelers,
yep.
animals.
Well, I know about the animals now. Hold up now. You're going too deep. You're going too country now. Hold on. I ain't going now.
Well, I mean, you're from New Orleans. I'm
Yeah.
from Lake Charles,
Right.
so
Right. It's a
I think,
difference.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a
I
difference.
can see that.
But no, so being in Houston, being a graduate of Southern University, you graduated in civil engineering,
Yes.
right? Shout out to Dr. Danu.
You know Dr. Danu?
Yeah, I know everybody at Southern.
I love Coach Danu.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yes.
My man, what's going on? Every time I see Danu. Yeah, you graduated in civil engineering and you came to Houston to work in the field of what? Engineering, construction, what?
So construction by the time that I moved here to Houston.
Okay. So what made you go into that field? Out of all
Um,
things.
God's divine plan.
Really?
I would definitely say that because originally when I graduated, I actually had a job offer as a dance coach and an admissions counselor for a university that I work for. So I did a very small stint there. Things didn't work out as I had anticipated or planned, and so I was on the first thing smoking back to Louisiana, and that's why I say it's God's divine intervention because I wrote a resignation letter on a Wednesday, turned it in on a Thursday, packed up my car, was on the road on a Friday, and on Monday morning I got a call back from an engineering firm that I had interviewed for months prior to
Oh,
that,
wow.
asking if I was still interested in the position that I had applied
Wow.
for.
Well, you know what's funny you said God's divine order. They say that when one door closes, another one opens. And
Yes.
just so happened that happened in that
It
situation.
did.
So being in construction, so because the thing is, when I ask you that, most women, I'm gonna say women, most women when they're in like school, number one is nursing. You know that nursing, right? And of course, if you went to Southern, you know Southern is known for their law program, their engineering program, and their nursing program,
Yes.
and agriculture. But most women that go to college, they say, I'm gonna be a nurse, I'm gonna be a psychiatrist, psychologist, or they're gonna be some type of like humanity art type deal, teacher, right? Nobody, it's not too many women say, you know what, I'm going to school to be a construction manager or project manager.
Yes, so that also fell in my lap too. So what I would say is I did go to school for civil engineering. Originally, I wanted to be an architect.
Okay.
That actually came from my dad. So my dad, I am a first generation, but my parents did start school, but life happens.
Yeah.
And so my mom ended up getting pregnant with my brother, and they both had to drop out of school. And so my dad ended up leaving the university that he was at, which he was actually at University of Houston in the architecture program. 3 years in, only had a year left. But again,
Wow.
at that time and in that, back in the day, it was one of those things where it's like, okay, well, so he moved from Houston, moved back to Lake Charles. And then, of course, him and my mom ended up getting married and all those good things as well, too. But I would say that my creativity, drawing, and my background of wanting to build comes from that. But then it ended up taking a village after that, that helped me in that go on that path.
So when you was a kid, were you like active? When I say active, were you bad?
I was not. I was a great child. However, I was a very inquisitive child. I was a very smart child. I would take things apart, put it back together.
Okay.
So like, I was. My mom would fuss at me all the time. Like, let's say, like she bought me bikes, and most people ride their bike, and I did ride my bike. Don't get me wrong. I rode my bike, but I went and got the tools, and I would undo it, put a chain over here. I'm building boxes to build a whole nother cart. So I'm like, hey, I need another bike
Wow.
because I need the wheels for that. So, yes.
That is funny. That is funny. I used to do that with VCRs when I was young. Like, back in the day, VCRs, I'm dating myself. So back in the day, you used to have VCRs. For the young people, these big black tapes you put in there to watch TV. And we used to have some old ones, and they didn't work no more. So, and my mom, she was a hoarder, so she never threw stuff away. She just built stuff on top of stuff. So I used to get the VCRs, take it apart, and this is before YouTube.
Okay.
Take it apart and see what was broken in it, try to repair it and fix it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't no engineer. I was just doing it because I had nothing to do. I was bored.
Yes.
But you did similar when you was a kid.
Oh, yes. And then, so my mom and my dad, unfortunately, of course, things happened and they both split ways. But my dad was still very, very big in building. So he did a lot of carpentry work. So my playhouse, I actually drew the designs of them at 5, and I helped my dad build my playhouse.
Oh, wow.
So
oh, wow.
I'm like, it's one of those things where, yes, it did fall in my lap, but it was divine. It was going to happen.
You didn't choose it. It chose you.
Yes.
So now fast forward. High school, college. Well, high school, did you go into like any art program, like any like construction? What is that called? It had clubs in high school.
I can't think of it. I know what you're talking about. Hold on, wait.
It's
Why can't I think of it? It's the bill. It's yes. I did not go into the class.
Okay. I know. I see it. I see what it is, but I can't.
It's like home ec. That.
yeah.
Yes.
But you know what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So you didn't do that in high school.
I did not.
Okay, that's right. You danced. So you was a dancer. But I'm gonna get to that because that's a construction person and a dancer. We gonna get into that. All right, because that's like two different worlds. So now high school. So fast forward, Southern University. So Southern, you knew that was your major off top.
So I wanted to be an architect, and so architecture was the path that I was going. But I had a mentor from the age of 5 who was a mechanical engineer.
Okay.
And that's how I got into engineering. So when it was time for me to go to school, so you know how throughout school you have people that you shadow, that you write your papers on and things like that. Well, he's been my mentor since I was 5. And so shout out to Uncle Buddy. And
what's up, buddy?
I call him Uncle Buddy. Yes. So he helped me navigate that path. So when it was time for me to choose my major and we were talking, I was like, I really want to be an architect. And he's like, have you thought about civil engineering? It had never crossed my mind or my path or anything like that. But he was like, hey, in engineering, you can do this, 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 and this. Right. It will be similar to architecture, but you would have an engineering background. I feel like it would give you the opportunity to expand your horizon. And so he told me this my junior year in high school. And so ever since that, I'm like, okay, well, civil engineering it is. And I started looking for schools. I knew I wanted to go into engineering. And ironically, Southern was not the first school of choice.
What was the first school? You can say it on camera. It's all right. Because the rest is history, but what was the first school?
Spelman.
Okay. Well, Spelman don't have no dancers.
No, and then when I started looking at the curriculum and course curriculum and things like that, it just didn't align. And so then I actually looked at FAMU.
Okay.
I was actually accepted into Harvard. But of course, I got the acceptance, but the money didn't come with it.
Right,
So
right,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
not, that was definitely not an option. And then when I started looking at holistically what would be the best opportunity for me, it was Southern. Because when you start looking at the engineering school, I knew I wanted to dance. I did play sports and things like that, but in college I wanted to dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But dancing is a sport also, to a
Yes.
degree. And so when you said Harvard, I would have a like a brag. I'd be like, I turned down Harvard to go to Southern. I would tell people from other schools that. I'm like,
It is a humble brag, but the thing of it is I didn't get the money. So it's not like I turned down Harvard. It was like,
I'm just saying, just to big up Southern. You know what I'm saying?
You
Just to
know,
big up
yeah.
Southern. Yeah,
But
I could have went to Harvard, but
I could have
just
went to Harvard,
over
but Southern gave me some money.
to the Bluff. I went over
And
to
so
the
I
Bluff.
went to the Bluff.
Yeah, that's it. That's
I
it.
did.
So now, how did you manage it? First of all, before you don't answer that question yet. How did you even have the capacity as an 18-year-old to go into a school, any school, and say I want to be a dancer and an engineer? Because most engineering majors are 5-year majors,
Yes.
right? And be a dancer. How?
I was a latchkey kid. And so when you're a latchkey kid, your responsibilities start very young. So I was a very responsible child at a
Okay.
very young age. I was cooking at 5, pushing up a chair to the stove, making eggs.
Oh wow, really?
Yes.
At 5?
Correct.
Wow.
And then, of course, my mom worked. And so when you have a mom that works long hours, like she did, I had a grandmother that had dementia. So when we got to school and navigated in those spaces, like my mom never asked me what my grades were or anything like that. She just assumed, but I was making great grades. Like
Right.
I graduated magna cum laude in a whole bunch of different organizations and things like that. But it was because I was the one that put myself in those spaces because I wanted to be there.
good.
I wanted to be a part of things that were going on. So yeah.
So you'd have been a hell of an athlete. You self-motivated.
Yes.
Because most athletes not so. You like, man, you got to come wake me up, or they don't hold themselves accountable. But I'm saying like that right there, self-motivated. You've been like a captain.
I was
Oh,
the leader.
right.
So I played a lot of sports as well too. I played basketball, I ran track, I did powerlifting, I did volleyball.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that. I did not know that.
I actually won nationals in powerlifting and broke a record.
Really?
104 weight class.
Hold up. People know this?
No, I don't really talk about it.
Hold up. Y'all knew this. I did not know that. So you're strong too. Like really strong. If you powerlifting. So hold up, DT, hold up. You telling me a lot of stuff that I didn't even know. I thought you was a dancer, engineer. I'm gonna get to the book. But hold up. You did all these things. I'm like, who was athletic in your family? Your mom, dad?
Both. My dad played basketball and my mom danced as well too. So, yeah.
Well, I'm saying you can't just brush it off like that because that's first and foremost. Congratulations on that. If nobody ever told you, congratulations. Because
Thank you.
that's an accomplishment. Because I powerlifted also, but them white boys in my school, them lifting 700 pounds. I'm like, hold on, man. I'm only 185 at this time.
So let me say this strategically. Coach Nelson, I have no idea where Coach Nelson is, but he was a very new coach. He came in my sophomore year in high school, and he was very strategic how he picked his team. He came in during off season for people that were playing, like running track, playing basketball and stuff like that. And of course, you're lifting weights in
Right.
your off season. And so he started looking at people, and he's like, you thought about powerlifting? Because we were never introduced to powerlifting. I didn't even know what powerlifting was. And so he kind of handpicked his original team that first year. And that first year, he brought us all the way to nationals, and we won.
Wow. But I didn't know that. That's interesting because I don't know no black women ever powerlifted. College, coming to Houston, first job. All right. What was the expectation when you got your first job?
So, again, I started off in a whole different space. God's divine intervention is how I started off in engineering. About 3 months in the engineering firm, my project manager ended up having a conversation with me. and said, I think that an opportunity in construction would help you in your degree or
Advance you,
in
yeah.
advance me in engineering, because he's like, hey, you'll have the application and you'll have the book smarts
Right,
basically.
right, right.
And so an opportunity opened up. We sat down with this construction company on a Friday,
Okay.
and I rolled over to that company on a Monday. So yeah, I stopped working for the engineering firm that Friday, and I started working
But the
for
guy helped you get into that position.
yes.
But that's see, you gotta. Is this in a book? Because you gotta. This is
No,
a
it's not in the book. Not yet.
this
Not
is a
yet.
unique story.
It is. It very much so is.
It's super unique.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it's weird because God could do anything He wants. I'm about to start preaching, but I ain't gonna do that right now. But that's unique. How you just left one thing, and like 2 days later, it's like something else was new. It's like what is that called when you get advanced? It's a promotion.
Mm-hmm.
You got promoted like instantly.
And I wouldn't say necessarily promoted, but it did give me an opportunity to see what you're being built. Because on the engineering side, basically, it's the concept. So you're designing it.
Correct.
And that's it. You're kind of in the office, you're designing, and you're going from there. So it's a lot of application of what you've learned in your degree field. But construction is the physical application of it. It's,
Actually building it.
yes,
Reading
you're
the
building
designs,
it.
yeah.
You're in the field. You're taking the designs and you're bringing it to life.
Right.
So,
So I used to train engineers, right? But I never was an engineer. I used to train them. So I noticed that a lot of engineers have a certain way of thinking. I could tell a person if they're an engineer or not just by talking to them because they're formulated. Everything's formulas. They're like they base everything off a formula, right? Which is I had to learn this. How did you manage to be an engineer and count music at the same time? Being a dancer. Because being a dancer, you got to count. Like count 1, 2, 3, kick.
well, I play violin too.
See, now, hold up, DC. See, look, all these things I saw coming up. What's going on here?
I know. It just seems like every time you ask a question, I'm like, oh, well.
You're like a savant or something. Like you like.
That's why I said it took a village. So I had great teachers that I believe saw something in me.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have those teachers that see something in you, they pour a little bit more into you. So I've had quite a few teachers that have went that extra mile, that have poured a little bit more into me. So that's why I believe that teachers should be paid more.
100%.
Yes, because they are your parents away from home. And so I've had great educators that outside of their own pockets have invested in me as well too, because I grew up with a single mom. So of course I spoke very highly of my dad and both late parents because they both passed away. But they both taught me a lot.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But all right, so I'm gonna go back to this because listen, single parent, engineering, Harvard, no, except in Harvard, engineering, major, powerlifted, played the violin and danced. That is like two different worlds. Like it's
a lot of different worlds.
Are you like what is that called? Not ADD. What is that called when you have like a what
I was
artistic?
Gifted. I was gifted.
Not autistic, artistic.
Yes, but I was gifted too. So.
Oh, okay. So you can get something and you can grab hold to it.
Yes.
Okay.
So I would get pulled out of class to do puzzles, like for logic and reasoning and stuff like that too.
So you like you ever seen Rain Man?
I have not.
You ever seen Rain Man?
I'm gonna have to put that in my phone.
Check it out, Rain Man. It's an old movie.
Okay.
But he couldn't do nothing else but count numbers.
Okay.
But you could do like it's like you know what it seems like. I'm thinking about this. You ever heard that saying? If you put your mind to it, you can do it. Mm-hmm. Like you have like a laser focus where you just master it.
Well, I'll say this. I believe that I was a little bit ahead of the curve, just in certain aspects. So, like for instance, My mom made $14 an hour
Okay.
when she actually worked in the construction field too. So when she told me how much money she made, the house that we were living in, so there was this channel 8, called Local Origination Channel. And basically all day, all it showed was houses for sale. Century 21, and then of course all the other ones. So I was on an envelope, I had wrote down the prices of the houses. I had divided out what it would cost for her to pay it off with the amount of money that she was making. And when I look back at this age, to present that to your mom, I felt bad.
Okay.
Because I was hoping that we can be in better situations, if that also
Got
makes
you.
sense. Because I'm like, hey, I get that you're making this, but with you making this,
You can do this.
you can do this, and we can be here. And when I look back now, I feel bad about it,
Well,
especially with her being late.
So
as
now
well,
you
too.
adding
But-
financial planner to it.
But I was 8. This is me doing this at 8, literally watching the Local Origination Channel.
So, DT, hold up. You exposing a lot of stuff that I didn't even know, bro. You like a genius, and like you have super laser focus, and you like master stuff like that.
I mean, it's work. It's definitely work. I wouldn't say that I master everything.
8 years old. Who does financial planning at 8 years old? Come on now, stop it. Don't. Look, let me brag for you, okay? Nobody does. Look, we are adults. We don't do financial planning. You doing this at 8 years old? Really? Wow. So I got a couple of questions for you, but I want to get to the book, all right?
Okay.
I want to get to the book. So what inspired the book? Well, first of all, the name of the book, Building the Future, right?
Building the future. So I'm hoping to build upon building the future. That's the whole goal.
Okay.
So that's why that starts it off. And then this first edition is Girls in Engineering and Construction. And because it's close to my heart. So I am a woman in engineering who, of course, went into construction. And when you look at construction, it's not many women that's in construction. And so just trying to put out there to other women or little girls that there's a whole world out there of alternatives and things that you can do, so you don't have to be confined to just one thing.
Right.
As society kind of puts you in this box,
Right.
and you don't have to be in that box.
What inspired you to write it at this present moment? Of all the things you got going, what inspired you to write the book now?
Well, it's been in the planning over 2 years now, so I'll start there. And then I had a lot going on, so I had my nonprofit that I was trying to get off the ground. I had my son that before I did my project, I actually wanted to put his project out there because he's bilingual. And so we did a bilingual coloring book. And so we were doing that project in concurrent with mine.
Hello.
And so finally this year in November, which again, the ideas, I had already sketched out quite a few things as well too. I'm like, no, this year, go all in.
Yeah.
And so in a previous interview, I used the term, I work in Drake's Noctus hour, or Nocta hours. So I'm a person that's up all night. And now, mind you, I got to get up early in the morning to go to work, but I work better at night. So since November, every night, I'm grinding. I mean, putting the baby to bed. Now I'm like, okay, so let me get the illustrations together. So I'm getting the illustrations together, getting the story together, because I had already had the storyline. So then I have people that's reading it, and they're like, it's a little bit too advanced for the age group that you're targeting. So I had to go back in and do a couple rewrites and things like that. And so I'm the person that's doing my marketing. I'm the person that was doing, so I'm in Canva. I'm in all of this, working through this, and I'm like, and I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
So like I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, I don't like how that looks. I don't like how this looks. And as a matter of fact, like the original first book that went out, when I got my first copy, I'm like, I need to go back and change a couple things. So I had to go back in and change. And when I say change things, like just appealing eye-wise, I had to go back in and change some things. But yes, so it was me.
I got you. So do you ever ask, or if somebody wanted to assist you, would you accept it?
I would accept assistance. I don't ask for assistance. And I know that that's probably one of my issues.
Why?
That I don't ask.
Yeah.
I, because I don't like asking people to do anything for me. So,
To help you.
mm-hmm.
I just had your mentor. I just had a question. I don't, I know you're busy, but I had some thoughts about some things that I want to run past you. I want to know, do you have a little time you can set to the side because I want to bounce some things off of you.
Okay. Yeah, we can work through.
That's easy, right?
Yes.
Versus saying, "Hey, man, look, help me out with this. I need you." Yeah.
I get it. I understand that.
And they love you. Everybody love you.
I know. I get it. I just don't like asking people to do anything for me. And I'm not saying that people want something from you.
Yeah.
But usually that's what it is. It's like a give and take. And I understand that as well, too. So I would much rather just do it myself, not have to ask for help and just put it out myself.
That makes sense. I want to talk more about the book. So, Women in Construction. Why? I know the book that came out. You talked about your son book, but why the title, Women in Construction, Building the Future? Why that title?
So, and it ties back into my nonprofit, which is called Each One Teach One. Mm-hmm. And it is basically where you're empowering the next generation. And I feel like we have to have people in our age group that pulls to this younger generation and pull them in the right direction.
I got you.
So
okay.
I'm very adamant about leading and teaching the generation that's coming behind us.
Good. That's good. I recently did some stuff, some volunteering for our group, and mentorship is a big thing that black men do not give young black boys. But it's not because of we don't want to do it. We just don't know how, like you said earlier, we don't know how to like reach out and ask a young man, do he need assistance? Because we didn't get that. We didn't, the guys that had the men that had a capacity to do it.
Well, please, I will take all of the men at Each One Teach One. We would love for you all to be mentors to other young men.
That's good. And women.
And women. Oh, yeah. No, but we were talking about black men.
Oh, well, yeah,
in specific. So that's why I'm like, yes, please, I would. Anyone that wants to be a mentor, I'm here.
That's good. I like that. You're doing God's work. So let me ask you this. When it comes to what do you want the book to do? Like in terms of like.
So the book and the purpose of the book.
The purpose, yeah.
Is empowering women and girls to go into the field of construction. It seems like it can be intimidating, but the purpose of the book is to teach women, that there is an alternative outlet and opportunity of another career path that you can take. And so usually what I've also realized is being a woman in construction in the field that I'm in. So you have several different paths that you can take in construction. You have residential, you have commercial, and then there's industrial. And it's not much media or just articles or things like it's a very small niche.
Yeah.
There in the industrial phase, and so that's why I really wanted to touch on industrial construction for women.
What are some things, and you don't have to go into depth or your personal life, but what are some things or experiences that women face in a construction lane, field? Because some people are going to be watching this interview. Young black women are going to be watching this interview and be like, you know what? I remember her. She's so pretty. She's so smart. She inspires me, right? I want to go into construction. But what are some things that some women might face? Not you, but some women might face. I don't even know if I can
talk about this on camera.
But not into depth, like just for examples.
So I can be honest. I'll be honest. The road for me being a woman in construction was not always easy.
Okay.
But I would say that it also took allies. I had great allies. But I also had some of those experiences that were not so great. I had the women are not construction workers. They should be nurses, teachers. I've had someone say that to me in person. I've had someone physically do harm to me in one of the settings that I was in as well too. I've had to deal with coming in new on a construction site, and we were kind of having this conversation before. So everybody knows me as DT in my field. And so if you've never met me, don't know me, when you hear DT as a name, you think I'm either a guy or,
Yeah.
And so
A masculine woman.
Yes, a masculine woman. And I would say I'm masculine. But when you see me come on the field or come in the field, that's what it's called. You're working in the field.
Yeah.
So when you actually see me come on site, I'm in the field, it's like that was not my expectation of who this woman was about to be. And so a lot of times I've had people think that I've gotten that position because of my looks or I slept with someone. And so I set the precedence in the beginning that I am very respected in my field, that I do not do that. So I would never even date anyone that I work with. And I set that tone early on. But when people don't know that or don't know you, they already kind of have the stipulation about you. And so I've had to break stipulations, and I've had to have people that come back and apologize to me months later after getting to know me and like, that you were not what I expected. I thought that you, and I've had women come up and like, I thought you slept your way here. And I'm like, no, that's not how this works.
But by saying that, that this is what I learned in life. I learned that a lot of people project on others, right? So with that projection, male and female, with that projection, they think that you're doing something because they've done it already.
And there was a lot of that, for sure. It was a lot of that.
Yeah.
It was a lot of that.
And it happens like that all the time. So when somebody, and this happens in relationships all the time, but on the job it happens too. So when somebody that sees you but doesn't know you, and they see, okay, well, she's a pretty girl. I know she had to sleep her way up here because I slept my way to my position. That's not my story. That's not my testimony. That's your testimony. Correct. So don't put your testimony on me. You know what I'm saying? But it happens all the time, unfortunately.
Usually when I go out in the field as well too, I don't even tell people that I have an engineering degree. I don't lead with I have an engineering degree.
Okay.
And I don't lead with what my position is in that space as well either. I go out there because I'm a person with you. I'm a person out here with you. I want you to go home like you came here when you first stepped foot on site, how you go home. And so I feel like that form of leadership, I guess you can say, has helped me as well too, because most people are like, oh no, she's just one of us.
Right.
And that's what it is. I'm out here, I'm one of y'all.
Is it trailblazer?
Yeah.
And God puts us in situations to be impactful, and then you blaze the trail, and people come behind you. So what happens is, it's an old saying. I think MLK said this. No, Malcolm X said this. Of course, if they don't open the door, you bust it down. And when you bust the door down, people come in right behind you because the door was always closed. But it took one person to bust the door down.
And that's why I believe in representation too. So I do say that all the time. It starts with representation. And once someone sees a person in a space, they're like, oh, I can do that too.
Yes.
So if you don't touch
100%.
the whole room, if
Absolutely.
you just touch one person, you've touched one person.
Absolutely. That's very important. Because most people, they can't see it, they can't vision it, they can't imagine it, right?
Yes.
It's like also in a relationship or in marriage or whatever. It's like if you can't see yourself being a visionary or having a vision, you can't lead.
Correct.
Nobody, you know what I'm saying? But that's a whole nother conversation. I don't want to get into that. So let me ask you this. What turns your wheels? Like, what make you go?
If I'm being totally honest with you, it's my late parents, because they didn't live up to their potential.
Okay.
And so I have a fear of not living up to mine. And so that is a motivation, but it also can probably be a deterrent as well too, because I'm so focused and so lasered in on getting the job done.
Yeah.
And it's like I want the legacy of both of them to live on through me.
That's good. Can you relinquish what you got going on? Like, say if you had the opportunity to, like, lay some of your responsibilities down and be like, in a peaceful place, safe place, and be like, it's okay, you lay them down. Can you relinquish that?
No,
You can't.
I don't think so.
Mm.
Because I'm even now, and that's what I'm saying. Like I'm always up. I'm always thinking about what's the next thing that I can do, or how can I improve, or if there's something that I don't know. I'm not a person that's like, for instance, if someone asks me a question and I don't know the question, I'm not gonna lie and say, oh,
Right.
and give a BS answer. I'm gonna say, give me a second or give me a minute, and I'll come back to you with that answer. But what that does is when I go home, now I'm researching, I'm looking at stuff, so I'm up all night. It's because I don't want to fail. I have a fear of failure.
Do you want to relinquish it? Versus, the question I asked prior was, can you? Now, next question is, do you want to relinquish it?
Yes, eventually. I do
Okay.
want, eventually I
Okay.
want to.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. Okay, good. Good. I'm just asking, just in general. Okay, that was good. So, how can we buy the book? Where can we find the book? And what are some avenues where we can see you talk about the book or purchase the book? What are just places where we can find it?
So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, I have the link in my bio there. I have a link tree there. And so not only do I have the Building the Future book, which is on ebook and paperback, and then you can also purchase a coloring companion. So it's a coloring book that goes with it as well too. I was also on a journey for 21 days where I did a fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so for those of you, if like we were talking, very, very busy, but you still want a spiritual, to be spiritually grounded, I have a book in there as well too. It's called the Renewal Strength. Um, and it's a 21-day fast where you can also go there as well too, and it's 5 to 10 minutes a day, if that, where you can read through journal and stuff like that as well too. But Amazon is where you can find it. Just look Building the Future, Girls in Engineering and Construction, or you can search my name, Datara Frank, and it should come up as well too. And also, because I am a mom, my son does have a coloring book out there called Colorful Companions. It is a bilingual coloring book because he's bilingual, Spanish and English. And so that was a project that we worked on about 2 years ago as well too. So you can get that as well.
That's good. That's good. Y'all make sure y'all go to Amazon. Make sure y'all go to DT's Instagram to run it up. Go ahead and get the book. Get the ebook. You have a
Renewed Strength is the name of my journal as well
Renewed
too.
Strength.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. What did your spirituality journey? How did you start that?
It started off, so usually in the beginning of the year, everyone does like the Daniel fast. And I decided that I would do something similar to the Daniel fast, but being me, I'm always doing something extra. So in addition to the Daniel fast, I didn't actually read the scriptures that came with the Daniel fast. I actually did my own deep dive. So like my questions that I had about God, things that I had going on in
Mm-hmm.
life, I actually researched myself to get the right scriptures that would give me the answers to my own questions. And so by doing that, so I'm getting up in the morning, I'm reading the Bible for me,
Yeah.
and not a scripted, our scriptures that's outlined for you in that space. You get a closer connection. So then outside of that as well too. So instead of relinquishing meat and stuff like that, I was actually fasting, not eating anything sun up to sundown. So not only did I go vegan during that time frame, I also wasn't eating sun up to sundown. And so once I got home, then I was eating, what I could eat. But I was drinking water. But what I did notice in that time frame was I wasn't hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed changes in my body, great changes in my body, not being tired, not being sluggish, and as well as being grounded. Like
Mm-hmm.
answers that I wanted was coming, and then it ended up opening a whole new door for me. So now I still read my Bible every night. Um, and I'm just intrigued with the knowledge of wanting to learn more about God and
Okay.
the Bible and just spirituality just in general and stuff like that too. So yeah.
So there's a cliche saying that says, "Seek and ye shall find."
I did, and I feel like I have a I've always had a personal relationship with God, but I feel like now my relationship is closer to Him after this year sitting where I sit and
One
how I
thing,
did it.
one thing that I learned, and this is just me. One thing I learned about God and spirituality and fixation and understanding the spirit and just walking, not your own walk, but walking with your spiritual eye. I learned that I don't control nothing and I don't know nothing. Because the more you get to know,
Yep.
the more you be like, damn, I don't know nothing
Yes.
at all. I'm like, geez, I thought I knew something a little bit, I don't know nothing. It's an old Chinese proverb. It says, the person that knows everything knows nothing.
Yes. And when you start seeking the truth for yourself, or seeking it for yourself, and it's no one pushing you to do it, you're all in. And that's what it was. I was all in. So
That's good. That's a gospel song, ain't it? All in. I forgot who sang that. Anyway, we gotta get out here, guys. We gotta get out here. We gotta go to the rodeo,
I gotta
guys.
go put my hat on.
Yeah, we gotta go giddy up. You gotta go giddy up. But guys, make sure y'all go holler at DT, man. Go get the book. I think it's inspirational. I think it's something good for the kids to have, and I also think that mentors are important for people to see. DT is an anomaly in her space, and I think you're a gift. You're a gift, and you're presenting this gift to the world, and God is going to do the rest. I don't want to preach no more because I'm gonna start passing the offering plate around here. Okay?
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna start passing that offering plate around. But anyway, guys, we got to get out of here. DT, one more time. How can they find the book?
So you can follow me on Instagram. My handle is DTARA_F. It is in my bio, which is my link tree. You can find it on Amazon, Building the Future, Girls in Engineering and Construction, or you can search my name, Datara Frank. That's D''TARA Frank, FRANK.
And yes, she is Kenneth Key Frank, so I'm just saying. But no.
I am.
Guys, we got to get out of here. I appreciate you for tuning in. Once again, shout out to my sponsor, 605 Adult Beverages, Call Audio, and MedPro Supply. Thank you guys for sponsoring the show. We got to get out of here. We're going to the rodeo. Guys, y'all know to get in contact with me. I'm culturally distinct everywhere. Y'all see me. Sometimes y'all see me in church. Y'all might see me in them little bars, in the streets. Y'all might see me at the rodeo. Y'all gonna see me somewhere. Or at the grocery store. Holla at me. It's okay. I'm not snobbish. Only on Sundays I'm snobbish. I have a suit on. So other than that, but guys, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. Make sure you guys tune in. I love you guys, and you can't do nothing about it. Peace out.